Hello everybody, welcome back. We got another BSJ replay of myself, where I'm going to be talking about Battlefury versus Maelstrom in 7.28.
Banana slam jam.
So a question I've been commonly asked is BSJ, as a carry, how do I decide between Battlefury and Maelstrom? So I talked about, there's already a previous video that I made where I talked about like Midas, Battlefury, all these greedy items like Radiance, and said, it's assessing the pace of the game. So a lot of Battlefury Maelstrom, there's a couple factors that decide for me whether or not I'm going to go Battlefury or Maelstrom. First and foremost is the pace of the game. I have to decide that Maelstrom costs 2,700 gold, while Battlefury, I believe, costs 4,300. 4,130, close. So Battlefury costs 1,500 gold, 1,430 gold more than Maelstrom. At the early game, that's like 2 to 3 minutes. And then by the time you get your next item, you're definitely not going to have made up for that gold. So not only are you, getting the Battlefury later than you get the Maelstrom, but you're also going to be getting your next item a bit later. So it's a combination of how much space I think I'm going to have to farm, how much time I have to get that farm, and also how important that next item is. So in this case, I'm playing Jug, and I am against, if you look at the opponent lineup, ask yourself exactly what they like to do. Like, what kind of heroes are they? What's their game plan? How fast are they going to play the game? Do I have to worry about getting my farm invaded, etc., etc., etc.? These are the questions that I will ask myself when I think to myself, what's going to be my first farming item? If you look at the heroes, what it screams to me is kill, 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 kill them, kill them, kill them again, kill, 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 Nyx, Ricky, OD, CM, Void Spear, kill, kill, I want to kill that guy, I want to kill him again. So, not only do I not have all the time in the world to farm, but let alone this game, if I go Battlefury, it literally gives Nyx a free way to stun me with Carapace on the cleave whenever I'm hitting neutrals. That's a very small factor. I'll still sometimes go Battlefury against Nyx, but that is definitely worth considering. So I look at their heroes and say, they're going to fight us. They're going to bring the fight to us. And what do they lack? What are their heroes good at? Or bad at? Every lineup has strengths and weaknesses. So a lot of times if the enemy lineup has a lot of one thing, in this case kill threat, they lack something else. So say I was against Nature's Prophet. I was against Ember Spirits. I was against these type of heroes that don't necessarily naturally threaten Jug as a hero. They don't kill me with their spells if I, don't get caught by 5 heroes. Those heroes represent no kill threat to me, and they represent a ton of wave clear. They're going to kill a ton of creeps, and they're going to have all the waves pushed into my tower. If you look at this game, I have way more wave clear than the opponent. The opponent's heroes have very little wave clear between all of them, and I have Pangolier Sand King cores. Pangolier and Sand King are both great wave clearing cores. So one thing Battlefury does do better than Maelstrom is that it clears the fuck out of waves. It's going to kill waves way faster. Obviously, Maelstrom helps clear waves. It helps you farm faster, but it's nowhere near as fast as you do with the Battlefury. So when I'm looking to go Battlefury, sometimes I think to myself, maybe they have some kill threat on me, but I really do need to get this wave clear. And if I don't have enough wave clear, it doesn't really matter if I get my timings a bit earlier because we're going to lose the map anyway. So it's a combination of pace of the game, it's a combination of how much wave clear I need, and it's a combination of how much I need that next item, that second item after Maelstrom. So in this game, Void Spirit was going for an Orchid. He went a very early Orchid, which would tell me that my next item is very important. My item being Manta that I went for on Jug was very important. And if you look at this game, since they lack wave clear, but they do want to kill us, there's going to be a lot of fights. So if you watch my perspective at this stage in the game, I'm going to be participating in a lot of engagements. Right there you see me participating in a rune engagement. You're going to see me participating in a tower push here. It doesn't end up going perfectly, but you're going to see how the game is being played. I am stuck participating in the game a lot. And this is a game where you say, BSJ, why wouldn't you just want the farm? Why would you choose to participate with your team? And the thing is, if I'm playing against a bunch of solo pick-off heroes, if I go play by myself, then that means that I'm likely to get picked off. And that also means that the supports are probably playing with only 2 or 3 heroes, which means they're likely to get picked off. So the more pick-off they have, the more likely I am to group with my team even earlier. And in this case, another thing worth noting, which may not apply as much to lower MMRs, is that I have a hero that operates fantastically pushing the map by himself. And I am also the only core, I know I have Shadow Shaman, I'm the only core that's good at pushing towers. So notice how in this game, I'm actually a carry that's playing with my team while my Sand King is playing like the split push farm alone job. So another consideration, not only is how much I'm going to fight, but it's also if I'm going Battlefury and I'm doing the role of Sand King in this game, which there's almost always one guy doing this, guys. If you have too many people doing this against heroes like Ricky Nix, you're all going to die. So sometimes you can get away with playing 3 lanes at this stage in the game. But again, looking at their heroes, come on, guys. We can't split push all 3 lanes. I don't need to, like, spell that out for you. You may not realize it, but come on, think about it. So in this game, there's only going to be one hero we have that can play alone. And I'm like, oh, okay, doesn't have to be me. So in that case, I need an item that not only accelerates my farm, because I'm a carry. Pretty much every time you play carry, your first item is going to accelerate your farm. But I also need an item that makes me strong in fights, right? So Battlefury as an item, it more so accelerates me to like my 3rd and my 4th item. It makes me scale better into the late game. It makes it so I can clear waves faster. So like if you compare this game to this game on Jug, I'm not going to show this replay, I'm just going to show you. Their heroes honestly don't kill me very well. Most of their damage is magical damage, and I should be able to get my stun off, or my spin off, and the only way I'm really going to die is if they gank me with like 4 heroes. And we've got a Lycan that's going to push buildings, we've got a Pugna that's going to push buildings, I even have a save in the Legion Commander. So in this game, I was looking to accelerate my 3rd, my 4th item, and I was also very concerned about how much wave clear the opponent had. Look at their wave clear. Sand King's a great split pushing wave clear. Anti-Mage becomes a split pushing wave clear. Even Bat Rider's good at wave clear. Even Dazzle Rubik as supports are 2 very strong wave clearing supports. So in this game, I knew I had to have a lot more wave clear. I knew I didn't necessarily need to fight early because the rest of my team can do that for me. And I'm not nearly as scared of their heroes in this game as I am in this game, right? So we compare this, and we're thinking about pace of the game, the role my hero plays in the game, and also how much I'm going to be fighting, right? So all those things combined add up to my decision of whether or not I'm going Maelstrom or Battlefury. If you want a simple answer to going Maelstrom or Battlefury, you guys can go some other channel. Because in my opinion, making the right call on this kind of shit, it ends up being instinctual. I have a good idea of all these factors adding up together and what the game's going to look like most of the time. But at the end of the day, those are the type of knowledge things you have to possess to play the game of Dota and itemize properly. I personally believe itemization is one of the hardest things to do correctly in all of Dota. And I think in this case, I hope you can kind of understand how much, at least I think, goes into the decision between a Maelstrom and a Battlefury. So in this game, I also want to take a couple side notes for the end of the video, just so you guys can learn a little bit more than just Maelstrom versus Battlefury. For all the hyped up people that I want to learn as much as possible and have stuck around until the end of this video, is that I also, on Jug specifically, consider how much I'm going to be auto-attacking outside of spin. So like in this game, if I hold spin, I might just die full to 0 to a Nyx plus a Ricky Cloud, Void Spirit going on me. So I'm going to have to spin pretty early on in fights. And that's going to be a large portion of my damage. So Battlefury is not that great during spin because you're not doing any damage to the primary target. And you also, you're only getting the cleave and they don't have a hero that I have to cleave. So I'm relying a lot on spin this game. So I'm likely going Ag Shard. Like I know that at the start of the game. And Maelstrom works a lot better with Ag Shard, in my opinion, than the Battlefury. Also, on top of that, a cool thing to consider on Jug, I think this patch specifically, is that you can go Gleipnir instead of Mjolnir. Mjolnir is usually if I feel like I'm man fighting them a lot, if I feel like I have to be the sole source of physical DPS, if I feel like I have to do just generally more single target physical damage. But whenever I'm relying on spin as my primary source of damage with the Ag Shard, you don't benefit at all from attack speed. You don't actually do more damage during spin with attack speed. And also, you can root people such that they get stuck in your spin. If you take the Gleipnir plus the Blade Fury Aghanim Shard plus the Blade Fury DPS, you do a fucking shit ton of damage on Jug during spin. So it's also an item that gives you a little bit of tankiness. So my build ends up being Manta, Gleipnir into Ag Shard in this game specifically. But yeah, I do think Maelstrom goes up in value for Jug specifically, and some other carries like Monkey King, who rely on keeping people in place for their damage abilities to go off. Jug gets spin, Monkey King gets ultimate, and it's an item that you don't always want to go. By no means am I saying that, but it's worth considering when you're playing for the spin damage. So something else to learn from this game. I look at the enemy lineup, by the way. One more thing to learn from this game. The two heroes I saw in their team before I picked Jug were Nyx and OD. I've seen a lot of OD offlane, and I've played against a lot of 4-position Nyx, and the two heroes combined have absolutely no wave clear, absolutely no push, and they do pretty much their job is to ruin your game. Like, if you've laned against an OD offlane, you've learned this. If you've played against Nyx and pubs, you've learned this. So I pick heroes that either push towers and waves, because these heroes can't really do anything about it, or heroes that are just really hard to kill. Jug being my highlight. I think Jug, Lycan are probably the two best heroes that come to mind against Nyx OD type heroes, just because either they can't get to you because all their lanes are shoved in and they're losing their buildings, or when they get to you, you just have like a natural survivability mechanic that makes it so that you can, not die to their shit without having to buy a BKB, for instance. Lastly, since this is another subject that comes up, God, BSJ, you're just full of knowledge, and I promise you guys this is it. I'm overwhelmed. Maybe I'll have to come back to this video. I'll have to give it a like and a subscribe and maybe follow your YouTube channel. Is that when I'm playing against heroes like Viper, heroes like OD, heroes that don't kill my tower in the safe lane, but they're offlaners that sole purpose is intended to ruin my game, pretty much none of my items are going to be itemized for the laning stage. Notice how many Wraith Bands I have. Notice how I don't go Phase in order to win the lane. Notice how I don't go Orb of Venom to win the lane. I went Wand because I knew I would need it against Nyx, and I went Treads because that's the farming boots instead of Phase, and then I just went straight into my farming item. So the cool thing about these heroes is, since that they don't kill your buildings and their whole job is to ruin your game, you'll probably get a little bit less CS in lane because they're really annoying to lane against, is you can just kind of cut out some items, and it'll get you to your timings at about the same time, and it won't punish you because you're not forced to trade with them, you're not forced to defend your tower against them, and you can kind of just play for yourself rather than looking to shut them down. I think one of the biggest traps a carry can run into is laning against a hero whose sole purpose is to ruin your game, and you try to fight back. I've noticed that just playing for my own game against these type of heroes is much more reliable and has worked very well in comparison to trying to shut them down. So, hope you guys learned a lot from this video. I might have mentioned this already. My name says it all. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. Or day, whenever you watch this. If you liked this video, please like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel, all that shenanigans, because at the end of the day, YouTube does care about that. You may not care about it, I may not care about it, but the YouTube algorithm does. So, please do.